in Piccadilly Gardens in Manchester for a Britain First protest. I don't think I've ever been to a protest with Britain First before. This will be the first one. But we've got Stand Up to Racism counter-protesting here in Piccadilly Gardens, and I've seen lots with Stand Up to Racism. We get Stand Up to Racism go to just about everything. But I don't know what the turnout's going to be like for either. Britain First aren't due here for probably another hour or so. And I think they're meeting near the train station, so they're probably going on a march, but again, I don't actually know where. And then there's a transgender pride march later on today. The transgender march, I think, is at the same time as the Britain First march, so unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do both of them. So we've just got someone going around with a smartphone camera filming himself shouting at people. Now the problem I have with protests like this is not only getting people to talk to me, but getting people to actually watch the videos. I was watching a video of a Palestine Action protest in Manchester a few weeks ago, and TKE Media, a bloke called Tony, who's local to Manchester, he did a really good video showing the speeches and things like that, so showing what actually was happening and actually why people were protesting and why it matters. Now, this protest has nothing to do with Palestine, but the thing is, Tony's video didn't get that many views, and the thing is, people don't really want to know the actual reason why people are protesting. They just want to have a slanging match. Because there were several people around who were also doing videos, and they're probably people that you'd class as auditors. And they weren't really doing any proper commentary, they weren't interviewing anyone, they weren't explaining what it was about. They were just having a slanging match. And they got thousands and thousands of views. And anything I do will not be taking sides, it'll be fairly impartial, and if anyone does want to do an interview, I'll ask reasonable questions. I don't turn it into a slanging match. And if they try and turn it into a slanging match with me, I tend to try and walk away usually, so hopefully all will go well, but you never know. Should we just follow the evidence gatherers? Sometimes that means there's something interesting happening. I hope I'm not making things up. I think the bloke who threatened to punch me this time last year, I've just walked past. So I think we've made it. I suspect this might be the anti-fascist lot, if they're wearing masks. Well, that's actually a very interesting chant, because the police are supposed to be here to protect everyone, and they have to keep the peace and basically keep multiple different groups apart. They can't take sides, and they can't protect one group but not the other. That's not the way it works, but they always seem to think that they're supposed to protect one specific group, when they're not. They're here for the benefit of everyone.
You ready, yeah?
You've been detained at this moment to prevent an imminent breach of peace. Imminent breach of peace. You've been detained at the moment to prevent Amendment Jones, the case law. Imminent has to be now.
So I think there's some dispute about why they're being detained, because they are surrounded by police. I don't think they're under arrest, but there's something to do with potential breach of the peace, and you can probably see why a load of massive people against those probably would cause a breach of the peace. So it's always a difficult situation.
Look over there, it's peaceful. You look here, it's peaceful. Where is the imminent risk of breach of the peace? Where is it?
On the police people.
Well, you've got people dressed in boiler suits and hats and helmets. Toilet check. Have you asked the officers for the toilet? No. You all do. Okay, all packed. If anybody needs the toilet, you can go one at a time.
So he's saying they can go to the toilet at least, so that's generous. So I think they've just been escorted into the shade really because it's a bit cooler. I think they were a bit caught in the sun earlier on. So there's far fewer police for this side than there is for the side over the road, but there's quite a lot of people, quite a big turnout on this side, maybe 200 or 300 people. So today's a march for re-migration, and I'm not 100% certain who they want to re-migrate. I don't know if it's all immigrants, or immigrants from certain countries, or immigrants of a certain colour, or immigrants who they think are illegal, or who might actually be illegal, or whether it's asylum seekers or refugees. I don't know actually. And this is not to be confused with a similar re-migration march which happened in Manchester a few months ago, which I actually missed. But there were a lot of people and quite a few scuffles. And I think that was with UKIP and its leader Nick Tenconi. Palestinian scarf just sat on the floor, perfectly entitled to sit on the floor, and everyone's making fun of him. Comments, we should deport someone who I'm guessing is English. You see, if they don't support him, they could just ignore him and walk right past.
I think you have no issues.
police horses are going. In fact, I don't know where the protest is supposed to be going, to be honest. I'm just going around all over the place. Right, so perhaps it's supposed to go straight on and not down here on Piccadilly. Looks like it.
These lot are protected paedophiles. These are not protected paedophiles. He's a paedophile protector.
So if we do come up the road a little bit, we can see the Stand Up to Racism counter-protest. I don't know how many there are. Probably a lot more than there were earlier, actually. I'm just being cautious because I don't want to get kicked by a police horse. I don't know if the turnout can quite compete with Britain First. Probably a couple of hundred less, to be honest. Right, so they're going on a march. Again, I haven't the faintest idea where to. Now, I don't know if those flags are there just as ordinary Union flags or if they're there to support the protests. And I actually find it a bit disappointing that my own country's flag has been sort of misappropriated as a symbol of the people who we saw earlier. And I'm sure they're not all as bad as the ones we saw in the video. I'm sure a lot do have very legitimate concerns, as the people here do. But it'd be good if these people here would also bring out some St George flags and some Union flags.
Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. Say it loud, say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. No passerat, no passerat, no passerat, no passerat.
To people obstructing the police in the name of protest, but the issue with horses is they can be a bit kicky. I don't know why this is relevant. Sometimes you can just leave people to have the bit of a protest and it'll sort itself out, or at least it does in my opinion. I mean, this is why I always say that the police have a very difficult job to do, because sometimes you think something's appropriate and then you take action and everyone joins in and the whole thing kicks off. And I've seen that happen at protests before.
Say
So now they've finished, that just begs the question as to where the other lot will go. Of course, this is actually St Peter's Square. I'm getting lost. Quite good at getting lost in places like Manchester.
Right, can we have the flags down now? Lower them as much as you possibly can. There's a people behind you, won't be able to see the screen. But don't put the flags on the floor, that's sacrilege. Anyone putting the flags on the floor will face severe punishment, and I'm not ruling out castration. Isn't it brilliant carrying our flags through the streets of our own country and being loud and being proud without the lefties and the opposition getting in our way and telling us that we're racist or some other nonsense. We are British and we are proud.
Every corner of these sacred islands bears the imprints of our sovereign people. The British people are the indigenous inhabitants of these islands. We are the aborigines of the British Islands. Our ancient ancestors had no
So the counter-protests are coming over, and hopefully I won't get run over by a tram this time. Charlie Veitch, and I actually quite like Charlie Veitch's videos, but I don't know what his opinions are. He likes to come to things and wind people up. But you can usually tell, unlike some people who are just sort of downright bullies, he actually likes to be a comedian and make it funny. So I don't think it really matters what his views are. He just turns it into comedy. People are just bickering. I don't agree with mask wearing in public, but ultimately people can wear whatever they want. It's a free country, and that's one of the privileges we have.
Stop!
what I mean about how both sides can be as bad as each other in situations like this. You've basically got a gang of people with cameras having a scuffle with a gang of people who are wearing masks and hoods.
Look at these leftist fucking gimps. Look how fucking sad and fucking weak they are. These are the types of men. These are the types of men who drink soya milk. They drink soya milk. That's what they do. That's why they're full of estrogen. The fucking weak snowflakes.
I just want myself into it.